We are live. This is the meeting right here, 23rd of September 2021. It is 5 p.m. I couldn't go too early on the live. I didn't want them to, what I was. What's up, man? All right. So let's go get on in there. They should be starting up here in a minute. All right, and we're in.
Darling, it's good to see you. I just see you too, gorgeous.
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm sorry, sir. It's not in the back.
Is she recording up there or?
I have no idea.
Hear ye, Hamblen County Commissioner. Thank you, Harley. At this time, I want to call the regular panel of legislative body to order for Thursday, September 23rd, 2021.
Jesus, Lord and Father in heaven, Lord, thank you, Lord, for Jesus Christ, who died on the cross for our sins. Pray, Lord, for each and every one of us here today, Lord, and pray also for each of the decisions being made here, Lord, for the decisions you'll have us to make. Lead and guide us all safely home, Lord, and just pray for today, pray for those that have a difficult time with sickness, pray for those who have lost loved ones, Lord. Lead and guide us, Lord, in Jesus' name, most precious name that we know.
Amen. I'm going to ask Commissioner Goins to lead us in our pledge at this time.
Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. I want to remind the commissioners to please make sure your mics are on. This time, commissioners, we'll do our roll call.
You, Chairman.
Commissioner Reed, are you connected? Is he connected? We do have a quorum present, so we are open for business.
You, Chairman.
Well, before we get started, we have the, farm over there, have everybody move their headgear. Their headgear.
Okay, I think he mentioned that, before we started.
We mentioned, we talked to the captain, and we're gonna get some rules.
Okay,
We're gonna abide by.
sorry about that. Okay,
Do you wanna remove your headgear, sir? Out of respect? Thank you. Appreciate you.
we, don't have any recognitions to make tonight, because I think these folks have already been recognized. So we are now, open for nominations and appointments. For, first of all, the election of vice chair.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir, Commissioner.
I'd like to make suspend the rules.
All right, so I need everybody that's on here. I know there's not many, but you go to the Hamblen County, Tennessee website, commissioners. There's a list of their names and phone numbers. They won't let the public talk before they reappoint. I need you guys to start calling those phones. Those are going to be their own cell phones, the commissioners of the Hamblen County, Tennessee. Please, I'm going to get it live. All the phones ringing.
Hearing none, then call the roll, please.
Jeff Aker,
Yes.
Chris Capps,
No.
Randy DeFord,
Yes.
Thomas Doty,
Yes.
Tim Goins,
No.
Bobby Vaughn,
No.
Tim Horner,
No.
Joe Huntsman,
Yes.
Eileen Armstrong. No. Mike Reed,
No.
Wayne Neesmith,
Yes.
Howard Shipley,
No,
Jim Step,
No.
Taylor Ward.
Yes.
okay,
You have 6 yeas, 8 nays.
okay, it would take a 2/3 majority to suspend the rules, so the motion fails. Okay, the floor is now open for the election of vice chair. Do we have any nominations?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to nominate Commissioner Goins.
Okay, Tim Goins has been nominated. Are there other nominees? Other nominees? Hearing none, the chair would entertain a motion that nomination cease and that Commissioner Goins be elected by acclamation. We have such a motion.
Motion.
Okay? Who made it?
I'll make a second, I think.
Mr. Reed.
Okay, Mike Reed made the motion. Commissioner Ward seconded the motion. Okay, congratulations. Let's, all in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, congratulations,
Thank you,
on your reappointment, Commissioner Goin, and I yield the chair to you at this time.
Okay, at this time, we're gonna do the election for the chairman. Do I have a, nomination?
Mr. Chairman, I nominate Thomas Doty,
Thomas Doe.
Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I nominate Howard Shipley. Howard Shipley. We have two, what we're gonna do, we're gonna have a roll call, and if you want Howard Shipley, say Shipley. If you want Thomas Doty, say Doty. Any questions? Everybody clear on that? Call the roll, please. Okay, we need a second. Let's go with Thomas Doty first. We have a second. Taylor Ward. Second to Howard Shipley.
Second.
Bobby Hall.
Jeff Baker,
Noted.
Chris Cuttshaw,
Shipley.
Randy DeBoer,
Shipley.
Thomas Doty,
Doty.
Tim Goins,
Shipley.
Bobby Vaughn,
Shipley.
Tim Horner,
Shipley.
Joe Huntsman,
Shipley.
Eileen Armstrong, Shipley, Mike Reed,
Shipley.
Wayne Neesmith,
Doty.
Howard Shipley,
Shipley?
Jim Step,
Shipley.
Taylor Ward. There's 4 for Doty, 11 for Shipley.
Chairman Shipley, you're reelected. Congratulations.
He was just reelected in after violating people's rights last meeting and previous meetings.
Okay, now we're going to, 2B, sorry, 2C, salary of the chairman. Do I have a motion to change the salary?
Vice Chairman Goins, I think it's worthy, that we consider moving that up $100.
$100.
$100 per month.
Okay, hang on just a second.
This commission cannot raise the pay of the chairman,
Okay.
or its own pay, and you can raise the chairman for the next.
Well, my bad, Mayor, I was under the impression this was year to year for the chairman, but for the commission, it was
Yeah.
on election.
It's on the,
My bad on that.
It's always said every year, but as far as raising it, you can't raise it,
this is for the next,
it's for the next
discussion came up, it would be during budget season possibly. Is that?
Okay, we can do it then.
Then I'll withdraw my motion, Vice Chairman Goins, and, I make a motion we keep it in the other.
Okay, thank you.
I'll second.
All right. All in favor, keep it the way it is, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
I appreciate your confidence in giving me the opportunity and the privilege of chairing the commission for another year. And Commissioner Goins, I believe you may.
Yeah, we do.
If I put these on, we may double the attendance. Thank you. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the appointment of the county attorney. The chair would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I wish to nominate Betsy Harding Stigler,
Okay,
and she won't be able to speak to us tonight.
okay. Betsy Stigler has been nominated. Are there other nominees?
Mr. Chairman, I will, make a motion that we consider Capps. Let's go.
Okay. Chris Capps has been nominated. Are there other nominees? Other nominees? Hearing no additional nominations then, we have Betsy Stigler nominated and Chris Capps nominated. I'm going to ask the clerk to call the roll, and as your name is called, either respond by Stigler or Capps, please.
Joe Baker,
Stigler.
Chris Cutshall,
Capps.
Randy DeBoer,
Capps.
Thomas Doty,
Caps.
Kim Owens,
Yeah.
Bobby Hahn,
Caps.
Jim Horner,
Abstain.
Joe Hudson,
Caps.
Eileen Arnwine. Caps. Mike Reed,
Yeah.
Wayne Neesmith,
Stigler.
Howard Shipley,
Capps.
Jim Stepp,
Caps.
Taylor Boyd. And we've got one abstain, three for Stigler, and two for Capps.
Okay, congratulations, Mr. Capps, being reelected as our attorney for another year.
Thank you, Mr. Shipley. It's an honor and a privilege to serve this body and serve this county. For those of you who have voted for me, I appreciate that very much. For those of you who did not vote for me, I'll work harder for you, and I invite you to contact me with any problems that you have with my service or anything that I do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Capps. This time, the mayor has recommended that we extend Commissioner Kim Goins' appointment to the E911 board for another year. What is the wish of this body?
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion that the recommendation be approved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Is it on the board? Oh, I'm sorry. It's on the board, so we can vote with this one on the board then. All those in favor of the motion, let's vote the motion, please.
Yeas, 1 no.
Okay, the motion is approved. At this time, we, Sheriff Jarnigan and the mayor have recommended that Attorney Dwayne Evans be appointed to serve on the Civil Service Board. Is there any discussion? Let's vote the motion then. Chairman Stepp of the Calendar Rules Committee. You're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. Item 3G, approval of consent calendar items. I put that in form of motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? We have a second. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, let's vote the motion, please. The motion is approved.
Item 3H, approval of regular calendar items. I put that in form of a motion.
We have a motion. We have a second. We do have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, let's vote the motion, please. The motion is approved.
That's all I have, Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman Stepp.
Mr. Chairman, there was no formal motion made on, for Dwayne Evans. It's just a recommendation on the letter, there's no formal motion made by Bob. Make a motion that we approve.
Okay.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Akers and seconded by Mr. DeBoer to approve that recommendation. We've already voted on it. Does anybody want to change their vote? Does that satisfy you, Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The motion is approved. At this time, the chair would entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar.
So moved.
All right, Chris Shaw moves. Is there a second?
I'll second.
There is a second, but Tim Harder. Any discussion? Hearing none, let's vote the motion, please. The motion is approved. At this time, we will receive comments from the audience on agenda items only. And we have two requests to speak at this time for 5 minutes. Mrs. Stigler is not here, so. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't recognize.
I probably won't need all of 5 minutes, but why not have the cushions made?
Be patient with us. We're going to do it off the board there, and will you get down to 4 minutes, or to give her a signal so we'll help her out?
All right, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Betsy Stigler. I'm an attorney here in Morristown, and this is my son Joey, who came with me here tonight. I'd like to thank Mr. Neesmith for nominating me for the county attorney position, and Mr. Aker for the second, and those of you that voted for me, thank you for that trust as well. The reason that I'm here is clearly I think that I would make an excellent county attorney. I'm somewhat dismayed that this body didn't allow speaking on the topic prior to taking a vote. I think that that is any elected official's duty to have an open debate and to look at that. And with regard to the county attorney job, in my memory, and I've lived here for about 41 of my 50 years, there's never been a serious debate about changing the county attorney. It was who it was, and then it rolled to someone else, and it was that person's until they retired, and then it moved to somebody else. And I think that like any job you hire, whether it is the chairmanship, which changes yearly, or putting someone on an E911 board, that you do the taxpayers a favor by actually looking at where are we and where do we expect to go, and having serious consideration about those questions. I know that you've heard a lot from a lot of citizens. I've reviewed a lot of video I know that, I defended a lawsuit filed by Mr. Shipley and, against a citizen. And those things are worth talking about, right? It is important that we are good stewards of taxpayer money when you have the ability as an elected official to do that. It is important, I believe, having worked at the Knox County Law Department as a law clerk and doing an internship there, that your attorney has to be a good steward of taxpayer money as well. And that you have to have a good working relationship with that person. You've heard a lot of things. The very long story short is this. I appreciate the consideration, but I'm disheartened at the same time that we didn't give it more consideration, that you didn't give us an opportunity to talk about why someone thinks that you need a new county attorney, that why there might be a better direction to go in. Nothing against Mr. Capps, right? He's a nice man. However, in this arena, you have a special responsibility, and it is important that you carry that out with all the burden that has been placed on you. And I don't believe that that was done here tonight, regardless of who won, right? And so what I would like you to keep in the back of your minds is that in the future, you may need to reconsider who is your county attorney. And when you do, I would like for you to think about the fact that I would like to do this job, that I would like to serve this body and these taxpayers. And that is not a light burden. As a private practice attorney, there are conflicts that creates. That limits the scope of my private practice. But I'm willing to do that because I believe the taxpayers of our community, of which I am one, of which that boy right there is going to become one, deserves a good steward of both the public trust and the public money. And I will come back again and ask for this job again. And if you have any questions for me, my office number is 423-254-0354. You're welcome to call me. I will not give you legal advice, right? Because I'm not your attorney. But if you want to know more about me and about what I would offer to both the Hamblen County Legislative Body, Mr. Britton as the mayor, and the taxpayers of Hamblen County, give me a call. I'd be willing to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Linda Noy is replaced for 5 minutes, and Ms. Noy, you recognize at this time.
Linda Noe, 2343 Joe Stevens Road. When I made my request, I did ask that I be allowed to talk before the nominations and appointments were made. Obviously, it was decided not to do that. Of course, Mr. Shipley and Mr. Goins were down in the mayor's office prior to this meeting. I don't know what was discussed. But the city of Morristown provides for nominations and appointments after public comments. Obviously, this is business of the commission, and the public should be allowed to comment on this. So you need to either move this particular item, nominations and appointments, somewhere down in your order of business in the future, or you need to put public comments above nominations and appointments. I want to hearken to something Ms. Stickler mentioned about changing the county attorney. That's been mentioned, and you have information, and you chose to choose someone who has been billing you twice for attending finance and committee meetings up until Ms. Green filed a lawsuit in 2018. If that's your choice, so be it. You chose someone who stood right in this courtroom with Mr. Shipley in attendance, Mr. Goins, and Mr. Neesmith. And I'll be nice today, I'll call it a false statement to the court. Documented, admitted. You chose that person over Ms. Stickler. You also chose a person who pulled you into a private executive session when he had no attorney-client privilege regarding discussions of Ms. Green's false claims lawsuit. That's who you chose, and that's your prerogative. And we'll see what happens after that. The other item is Mr. Shipley, and I will send out information about that. I've talked about it before. And it involves all of you, because you were here and you censured him for violating the First Amendment rights of citizens. And now he's saying he didn't do it. You all got snookered. The people got snookered. The last thing is the lawsuit on the, as Mr. Shipley calls it, placards. Bring it on.
Thank you for your comments. Do we have anyone else who wishes to address the commission? 3 minutes. Yeah.
My name's Edna Green, I live at 4981 Cameron Road, I live in Miss Eileen R1's district. First of all, I'm very disappointed that you didn't take the time to listen to the attorneys. Very disappointed that other than Miss Eileen and Mr. Neesmith and Mr. DeBoard, none one of you bothered to touch base back with the email that I sent this morning. You know, as a public servant, we need to represent the people and be wise with their money. I don't think any of you folks waste your money. I will tell you, I'm very disappointed. Some of you that I thought were church-going people, I am disappointed. Now, back to business, before we go any further. The last meeting, I gave every one of you, with the exception of Mr. Board, a copy of a lawsuit that was filed concerning the double dipping, paying twice for the same service. None of you tonight showed me that you read through it, much less paid attention to it. I am disappointed in you as human beings, very disappointed. That paperwork that I gave you folks laid it out to the T what had been done. And if you had a question, you should have been man and woman enough to ask. But as of right now, I didn't get either one of you to ask anything, period. Again, I am disappointed. I expected better. I really did. I expected better. For people that are in charge of taxpayers' money, I would have thought you would have been good stewards. And even our Bible tells us we have to be good stewards. So I wonder about you, it's okay? And I'm glad I'm not your judge. God will judge votes, I don't have to. It speaks for itself. But Mr. Shipley has allowed a lot of things to go on, so let me go back to Mr. Capps. Mr. Capps should not have been reappointed. When you have anything standing against your honesty, your integrity, it does not speak well for people that go along with it. If I stole a car, and I will use you, Mr. Shipley, for my example, and you were in the car, you get the same sentence I did because you were a cohort. And you would deserve it. So if I cover something up according to my belief, I'm part of the problem. And God knows I don't want stealing on my hands. And anytime I double charge you for the same service, I might as well have stolen it out of your pocket. Now, you didn't take it out of my pocket altogether. You took it out of every hard-working taxpayer represented here today.
Okay. Your time is up, Ms. Green.
All right, I thank you for the opportunity. I do hope you folks go home and think about what you've done.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else who wishes to address the commission?
My name is Tony Spazzulo. You know, the only reason why any of you have a seat to sit in is because we're here. If we weren't here, you wouldn't be here. That's what your job is for. It's to be here for us. You allow Howard Shipley multiple times to violate the rights of people, and you all sit here and applaud it. That is disgusting, sickening. How can you all even consider yourselves Americans? That's not what America was founded on. You have an attorney who gives you guys bad information, doesn't know the simplest of things that he should. And it starts at the top, and we know that. And we're going to get that out. But for you all to not even allow public speaking prior to just shows the type of people that you all are sitting up here. It's a disgrace to the community. It's a disgrace to our future of Hamblen County. You all have an agenda, and that agenda has been right here locally. And it's no longer local. Your all's agenda is now worldwide. And I take all the darn credit for it. I am going to expose every bit of the nonsense of not looking into different options and opinions. And every month something comes back on something that could be changed that we didn't find before. And that's because you all didn't do your job. You all didn't do your due diligence. We need a change. You guys could have just made that change. And some of you tried to, and I applaud you guys for that. The rest of you all need your rights violated badly. You all need somebody in your family's rights to be violated badly in order to realize that America is not what it used to be and not the way it was founded. We need change, and you all slipped. You all slipped up big time on being able to make that change. Nothing changed. But you know what's going to change? All of you all. I guarantee it. Because you all are going to go down as the most ridiculous Board of Commissions ever. And your plaque might be on a wall at a jail, but every one of y'all belong in that jail.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else who wishes to address the commission?
That down there? Okay, now I can be heard. Yay, Karen Norwood, 1501 Eller Road. Okay, just really, really quick. You guys, in general, just prove yourselves to me that you are nothing but a bunch of cohorts among yourselves. There's a few of you steadfast and true that think for yourselves and not under the thumb of, I don't know, Mayor Britton, I don't know what's going on. A lot of us really don't understand how in the world you can continue and you just prove you're not a representative. Representatives of the people of this county at all, you're in it. Something going on just for yourselves, some little group, you're very, very close-minded. And you're not representing anything I think or feel at all, period. Now, I'm not saying I'm 100% right of anything and everything that I think. The thing being is when you've got facts before you of wrongdoings, and yet you still re-elect the same people right back into that same seat. So therefore, the only change is going to be left up to us on this side, and that comes around at election time. And then it just really, really struck me when Tony was talking about America. America's not what it used to be. America is going so far from what it was originally founded, even back. I don't know, and a lot of you probably don't care, but I'm a 16th generation descendant of Richard Warren, who was a passenger on the Mayflower. That's first. Part of the American Revolutionary War. I had 3 great-grandparents
great-grandfathers, 3 great. Now, one left East Tennessee and went and joined the North in Illinois or Indiana, I can't remember, Indiana, I'm sorry. Because Tennessee wanted to separate, stay with the North. It's just fact, Civil War. My other one, Florida. He was a liaison between the Confederates and the North trying to end the war. I think about the hardships that a lot of my forefathers went through. I cannot conceivably imagine riding horseback from northern Florida to Washington, D.C. during the extent of the Civil War, horseback. And that's how much it meant to him as to what he was trying to bring an end to. We've got it made in comparison to these people. Think about it. What they gave up and what they went through.
Your time is up.
Thank you.
Anyone else who wishes to address the commission?
Darrell Arwood, Miller Road, Morristown. Today, September 23rd, bit of an anniversary for me. It's at the exact time, 38 years ago, I was sitting on a plane on my way to San Antonio, Texas. I just joined the Air Force. That day, I had to raise my hand and repeat an oath that some of y'all have repeated before. Swearing loyalty to the Constitution, defended against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That was not just words to me. That was a lifelong commitment. I've seen you sit up here, Mr. Shipley, and read a letter and admit that you violated people's rights. And then this commission's turned right around and done it again. I may not have one of those, as you call it, a placard on. I choose not to wear one. But I still have to defend someone else's right to do that if that's how they want to protest. Mr. Cox here, we don't agree on the issues, but if he tries to get somebody to try to violate his rights, I'm going to stand up for him, whether I agree with him or not. Because if you defend the rights of people you don't agree with, you're defending your own at the same time. Just like in Nazi Germany, when they talked about, they came for the Jews, and I said nothing. When they came for the gays, I said nothing. By the time they rolled around coming for me, there was nobody left to say nothing. That's what y'all are taking us towards. If there isn't any issue, anything, you have to decide it in favor of the Constitution and the freedom of the people. And y'all are not doing that. You should have a commitment to that. You took an oath also when you swore into office to that Constitution. Why is it just words to you? Why won't you stand up and live up and what you think about the words you said? Let them be your principles, not just what you have to say to take your seat. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else who wishes to address the commission?
My name is Gwen Hogan, I live at 8150 West Point Drive. You want to sue us over this just because we're expressing our opinion? Well, I called Mr. Charles Curtis. I talked to him. And he told me that he also had talked to Mr. Bill Britton. I would like to know what they said, what Charles Curtis said to Mr. Britton. But I got a feeling that you can't do a thing about this sign on my shirt. Because I talked to him, and he told me. And I believe the man, and I believe he's a good, God-fearing, honest, truthful, and tells the truth. So I'm not afraid to stand up for my rights and what I believe in. If we can save $30 million, why not? I'm not even for a jail. I think convicts get pretty good already. That's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it. But I'll wear this, and I'll be proud to wear it, because I want to save the taxpayers $30 million. That's more than you want to do.
Thank you for your comment. Anyone else?
Bonnie Bollington, 317 Stubblefield Street, Whitesburg. I look around at all you tonight, and I've never been so disgusted and disillusioned with the body of a commission. Two people on this commission have been caught in lies. Now, we can't call them liars, because heaven forbid we call anybody liars. So I will just say, they have been caught red-handed in lies. And you, all of you, sit up here and vote to put them right back in their position. What is wrong with you people? I just don't understand how you could do something like this. When you decide to put the same people back in that had been caught in lies, you might as well say you're guilty of lying yourselves. And I'm also disappointed too that you didn't allow any conversation before these appointments. I'm disappointed that Betsy Stilber and Mr. Doty weren't allowed to share their views on how they could make a contribution to this body of commissioners. To the ones that voted for them, thank you, good job. To the rest of you,
Thank you for your comment. Anyone else who wishes to address the commission?
Young Coffee, 8220 East AJ Highway, Pittsburgh. I've got one question for you guys and ladies. Why did you want this position? Why? I mean, first of all, I don't know why you have to be paid to help make your own community better. That makes no sense to me. I mean, I understand this takes up time in your all's day, your lives and everything. I get that. But that money could be spent on the homeless, I mean, or the people that are fighting drugs, or, I mean, we've got kids in our own county going to bed hungry. And I want you all to really think, what did you take this on for? Why did you take this on for? Cause some of y'all really need to do some soul searching as to why you did it. I mean, I totally get it. I get it, but, I mean, we've got people here that, they've got nobody. And they're hoping that you all will do the best for them. And I'm sorry, I'm kinda a little disappointed, guys. I'm not saying it. I try to do the best I can with everything that I do. But I just really want you all to do some soul searching, because I'm really let down, really. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Anyone else who wishes to address the commission? Anyone else? Seeing none, let's move on with our business. At this time, Chairman of the Board of the Finance Committee, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item 6A, the approval of the monthly checks. I'll put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Okay. You want to speak? Okay. At this time, we'll recognize Commissioner Neesmith.
Before the meeting, I talked to the finance director. I was on monthly checks with something in there I couldn't understand while we
My apologies, Chairman.
$15,500.
Speak back on one. Yeah. Thank you.
Can you hear me, John? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Mike.
Pretty good. I wanna know what $15,500 has been for, and she was telling me that was for the people in the planning, a man at the planning commission that also works for the city. And that $15,500 is a quarterly deal. So we're spending roughly $60,000 a year for a man that works for the city, working for the county part-time in our planning commission. And that doesn't have benefits with it, it doesn't have insurance with it. I was just curious why. What would a regular planner cost us?
Our contract with the city of Morristown to provide planning services is for a total of $15,000 and change. The exact dollar amount, I'm not sure, but it's in the $15,000 range for annually. That's our plan for planning services. Now, from time to time, you'll see in the checklist, a check in the city of Morristown, and it'll be for other services that we contract with, whether it be GIS services or other services that they invoice us for, and we write a check for that, for multiple services. But for planning services, the contract's $15,000 and a few $100 annually.
Okay, well, I didn't know what it was for, I was just going with what the finance director said, quarterly, so you had 4 times that, you get $60,000.
We were billed,
So it's total $15,500 a year. Is that
we were
right?
billed by the city for 2 quarters for GIS and planning.
Any more discussion? Hearing no much more, discussion, let's vote the motion, please. The motion is approved.
Item 6B for magistrates, and I put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? We have a second. Any discussion? Commissioner Naismith.
In this magistrate, we're hiring, 3 people full-time and 2 people part-time. Teresa and Doug, I look at the crime beat in the newspaper every night, and you might have 4 or 5 things in there in Hamblen County. How much work are these 3 people gonna have to do? But that's the only way I know to find out what bonds would be people that's done the crime. I don't know if the paper's right or wrong.
The newspaper's not correct. I wonder about that myself, because, you know, there is no less than about 100,000 documents every day. I really don't know how they pick and choose what goes into the paper and what does not, but that's not accurate at all. It's not even close. I mean, I probably arraign 25 people a day downstairs still, so what you're seeing in the newspapers, I don't know how they pick, but that's just a very small percentage of people that have charges.
They've just done the crime beat for so long.
I have no idea how that happens.
Okay, that's my question.
Yes, sir. Anything else on here?
Any more discussion? Hearing none, let's vote the motion, please. The motion is approved.
Item 6C, pay increases for sanitation and highway departments, I put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion, we have a second, any discussion? Hearing none, let's vote the motion, please. The motion is approved.
Item 6D, pay increase for civil service board, and I put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, let's vote the motion, please. Okay, the motion is approved.
Item 6E, division of Indo settlement money, and I certainly put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion? Let's vote the motion, please. What's that? Oh, sorry, Wayne. This new screen, I'm having trouble getting used to it.
And that's what we was talking about a few minutes ago, that $100,000.
No, that is in the next, the 300,000 is in the endo settlement is not what we discussed.
Okay, I see what the settlement is. We're supposed to be getting $1,250,000 and the city's getting $620,000. Those figures right there.
That is, there's two parts of it. One part of it is $538,000 that goes to the county. That was part of the settlement. And then the balance, which is about $1.8 million, is to be decided or divided between the city and county based on agreement between the city and county. City council approved this proposal on Tuesday. This gives us about 66% of the 1.8 million in the city 33.
All the money spent is drug related.
It'll be on, yes, on drug programming is my proposal, yes.
Any more discussion? If not, then let's vote the motion, please. The motion is approved.
Item 6F, debt obligation report note form, I put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? We have a second. Any discussion? Saying none, let's vote the motion, please. The motion is approved.
Item 6G, resolution 2118, a resolution of the County Commission of Hamblen County, Tennessee, authorizing federal year 2021 American Rescue Plan Acts Travel, Tourism, and Outdoor Recreation Grant application, and I'll put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? We have a second. Commissioner Neesmith, you're recognized.
And this is a grant we're going after, and, I'm saying 20% matching fund for the county.
It'll not exceed 20%. It
Not
could
to
be
exceed
less.
20, so that'd be $100,000 a year, could be $100,000.
Could be. If we awarded the whole request, yes.
Any more discussion? Saying none, let's vote the motion, please. The motion is approved.
Item 6H1, Hamblen County Board of Education budget amendment, an increase of $68,459.81, and I put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion. We have a second. Any discussion? Saying none, let's vote the motion, please. The motion is approved.
Item 6H2, Fund 101 for UT Extension for $5,393, and I put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion. We have a second. Any discussion? Saying none, let's vote the motion, please. The motion is approved.
Item 6H3, Fund 101 for County Mayor, $286.35, and I put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion. We have a second. Any discussion? Let's vote the motion then. Okay, the motion is approved.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank thank you, Chairman Gord. Chairman Gord of the Personnel Committee, you're recognized.
Item 7A, amendment to the employee handbook for COVID-19 leave, and that's an extension. I'll put that in form of a motion.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, let's vote the motion, please. The motion is approved.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman of the Board. Chairman Goins of the Public Service Committee, you're recognized.
Thank you. Item 8A, surplus items from Morristown Hamblen Emergency Management Agency, and I put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, let's vote the motion, please. The motion is approved.
Chairman, that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. At this time, we will receive public comments on items that were not on the agenda. And Ms. Noe, you have requested 5 minutes, and you're recognized.
Linda Noe, 2343 Joe Stevens Road. I saw one commissioner point and say, you know, what's that? This is the type of speech you allow here. Nothing, except what's pre-approved by Mr. Shipley. At least that's what you would like to do. And that's what your lawsuit is about, or your proposed lawsuit. When is Mr. Britton going to tell you what Mr. Curtis said? Probably some of you know. When's your attorney gonna tell you about your lawsuits and what the odds are, shall we put it? This is exactly what Ms. Green and other people, including myself, I had a different color one last time and I had some writing on it. But you banned, supposedly, placards. By a vote. You know, oh, that's a placard, that's not a placard. I think we've heard people mention here before. This is America. There is still free speech, although we evidently have to fight for it. Because our government is suing citizens. You talk about, you know, man bites dog. And I want you need a parliamentarian so badly. It's the stuff that goes on up here. And I want you to look, be really careful. Look at your minutes for the Finance Committee meeting that you had on the 13th. Look closely. Somebody wrote those minutes in a very special way, and they don't reflect what Mr. Shipley said. Stop the jail. It is a total waste of money. You have not done anything to find out about the cost of a one-level jail. You haven't looked at the reports about the jail bail lawsuit and how incarceration will very likely decline here and because of things and actions that are being taken at the state level. It's like you won't look at anything now because you made up your minds, or Mr. Britton made up your minds about a year and a half ago. And it doesn't matter about the people. A little bit like Mr. Shipley making up your minds about a piece of fabric on a shirt. I appreciate the 5 minutes, thank you. But I'm not gonna take the 5 minutes. You know exactly. You've received the information about the county attorney you just reappointed and said, good job, we want you to keep on keeping on. as well as Mr. Shipley. And if, that's why we're in this mess. And that's why we'll stay in this mess, at least until May 2022. Unless, of course, the court intervenes. Thank you.
Anyone else who wishes to make any comments?
My name is Ann Warner. I live at 1535 Panther Creek Road. Today is a special day for me. 6 years ago today, I underwent a mastectomy to save my life. I spent a year fighting my cancer battle with multiple surgeries to rebuild my body. I also experienced temporary blindness and 2 surgeries to fix that in the midst of my cancer battle. And just when I thought things were looking up, my appendix ruptured and that nearly killed me. None of this makes me special. It makes me privileged to be alive and cancer-free. I still fight multiple chronic conditions daily, but that makes me grateful. God hasn't carried me this far and allowed me to live just to sit back and shut up and give up my rights to free speech. Your rules need to be tossed in the trash, and you need to start over with the citizens' rights in mind. You aren't royalty, you are civil servants. Now for some more comments I have a right to make. Mr. Shipley, you made some comments during a meeting, and you laughed at your mention of the unvaccinated dying and ending up at the funeral home where you work. It's on video, so those that say they can't find it, just ask me and I'll show you. Mr. Shipley and Tony Cox had a good old laugh about it, and they brainstormed on the taxpayers' dime on how to get more people vaccinated. Mr. Shipley, maybe you and your colleagues need to spend your time doing something important, because we are sovereign over our own bodies. And by the way, while you were laughing, I was watching my grandkids because their parents were at the doctor all day to get treatment for COVID pneumonia. And then my son-in-law had a collapsed lung and nearly died. Would that be funny? Do you think that's funny? It's none of your darn business if they're vaccinated or not. It's not one single public official's business. You are a joke of a commissioner, pastor, and a funeral home employee, and I'm spreading the word. I haven't lived this long and survived this many things to let you and your cronies trample all over us and treat us as your subjects. And that's exactly how you treat us in here. You just make up your rules at the beginning of a meeting like you did last time. The Constitution matters. You all sit up there and pledge allegiance to the flag and take an oath, and then you make rules to stifle our rights and punish us for exercising them. And then you put this man back in as your chairman. You just keep exposing your true agenda and proving us right. And don't thank me.
My name's Edna Green. I still live at 4981 Cameron Road. I hope you like my sign better today than the last time you was such a heart attack. I am too old to be run over roads, and I am certainly too fat to run. Now for you that sit here while Mr. Shipley violated my constitutional right to wear my co-life shirt in, where is your backbone? If it were your daughters, if it were your wives, would you have been so complacent? My husband would fight to the death to protect me. And if I understand my Bible correctly, we're supposed to esteem our brother higher than ourselves. So folks, where are you? Where are you as children of God tonight? Have you forgotten where you came from or who gives you breath? You repeat the same mistakes with your chairman and with your attorney that's coming out the door. I don't understand how you can face your constituents. For you folks that stood up and talking about Mr. Neesmith, Mr. Aker, Mr. Doty, Mr. Ward, I thank you. I respect you folks, and I want to tell you up front, I thank you for
You are too, sir, as supposed to be a man of God. My pastor and I had a long talk about your actions the other day. He told me that God judged the actions and people should judge the votes. That's the only right we have to judge. So I'm telling you up front, your votes tonight have made me sick. I'm ashamed for you. And if you don't like what I have to say, come to me. I am just what I am, but I'm not running from either one of you. If you want to take me to jail, I'm here. I can't run very far. I have to have this to help me. You'll probably make a roulette animal out next. But you just need to read my sign extremely carefully. For you that fight for my rights, thank you. For you that want to whack them down and send them down every time, shame on you. You certainly don't represent America. Thank you for your time.
Anyone else?
Bonnie Bullington, 317 Stubblefield Street, Whitesburg. And I'm exercising my First Amendment rights. To wear this is my First Amendment right. I have a right to make my opinion known and to say what's on my mind. And for a little thing like this to bother you all so bad that you would sit up here and vote to file a lawsuit against us, that speaks volumes for you. Volumes. You call it a placard. This would be a placard, something you held up in the air and waved and blocked people's views. If we'd done that, been doing that, I could see something being said to us, but we've never done that. You sit up here, almighty power, and, you know, I feel like half of you go home at night and lose sleep for trying to figure out ways to put your thumb on us and shut us up. It's not going to happen. No way. We refuse to be silenced. And we refuse to continue to watch what's going on here, keep continuing. And for the commissioners that are up here trying to do the right thing, God bless you. God bless you, men. You have your work cut out for you. And because you do try to do the right thing, I've seen how your fellow commissioners, your chairman, and even your mayor act toward you. I feel so sorry for you, but I am so proud of you. So proud. Because you have the guts to at least stand up, try to stand up for what's right. Every time you do, they smack you back down, but you still bounce back up. And I want to thank you for that. And for the rest of you, grow up. Stop being a bunch of kids that hollers lawsuit when you don't get your way, or if somebody says something that you don't like. Grow a little bit of skin and act like adults.
Anyone else?
I had two comments. The committee meeting, of course, heard Judge Collins speaking about hiring these magistrates and why they were needed. And question was asked about the law. Yes, it is the law. Well, one thing a prosecutor likes to scream is ignorance of the law is no excuse. You're supposed to know it. Ignorance is no excuse. Well, if this has been the law, why are y'all just now doing it? You sit over here and let people's rights be violated. And this county's going to do nothing about it. Until finally, the federal courts comes in, is going to spank your behind for it and go, you're going to do what the law says. So now, you're acting on it. Well, if it's been state law one, why didn't you do it? Ignorance of the law, no excuse. You should have been doing it. Because that's your job. to do things like that and protect those rights. You wanna sit up here, it's the same situation, taking away people's rights with the little sign on their shirt. Well, the fourth, Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Chief Justice Marshall, in the case of Marbury versus Madison, set a precedent that has lasted this country for 200 years now, of declaring stuff unconstitutional. When he said, any law that is repugnant to the Constitution is void. If they can turn over the Congress of the United States, this body here sure can't offend the Constitution because it's void. And if you want, like Linda knows that, if you want to try to take it to court, I'm sure a lot of people will be very happy to see you there because you're going to lose that one. Because the Constitution trumps anything you do in here. And there's a lot of people, myself included, who's willing to stand behind that over anything.
Anyone else who wishes to address the committee?
Tony Strazullo. So, I live in Morristown. So your rules are on a piece of paper.
They name their address and their name.
Okay, name and address.
What's your address, Jim? You don't need my address. You know I live here. I don't even have to be a resident here. And you're going to find that out real quickly that anybody in the world can call your phone.
Chairman, name and address.
So your rules are on a piece of paper out there. My rules are downstairs. You all never walk past that. You all walk upstairs over here. My rules are downstairs on a wall, on a plaque. The Constitution. And the Bill of Rights are right next to it. That's what's downstairs. You all never see that. You all walk through your all's door over here. The people walk past the Constitution because we know that that exists. You have all lost your way. Your rules do not supersede my Constitution. I can say the things I want and I don't have to say the things I don't want to. You all need to learn that. You also need to learn that, yes, you have this small group in this room right here. That's about to change. Anybody in the United States is allowed to call anybody of any county and grieve and let them know what they feel about what's going on someplace else in America. And you all are getting ready to find that out quickly. Very quickly. You laugh. I hope you enjoy that cell phone number because you think warranty calls are bad? Ha ha ha, Jim Stepp, you're funny. Enjoy. Every one of you need a wake-up call, and you're going to get it by thousands. It's not going to stop. Not a phone in Hamblen County or the city of Morristown is not going to stop ringing with complaints because that's what America is founded on. We are allowed to let you know we are not happy with you. And it doesn't have to come from the people sitting in this room, and it doesn't have to come during the day. All of you need to really understand what you're doing, what the consequences are. There's consequences to every action. There's always a reaction. You guys are up here causing reaction. My Constitution is down there telling me how to react and how I'm allowed to act. Because there's not laws about what you're allowed to do. There's laws about what you're not allowed to do, and this is not one of them. And that's why you all have a hard time getting the sheriff's department to come and do anything to us.
Very much for your comments. Time's up. Anyone else who wishes to address the commission? Seeing none, I want to remind commissioners of these very important dates under item 10. Please take note that there will be a redistricting committee meeting Tuesday, September the 28th at 5 p.m. here in this courtroom. Our October committee meetings will be Tuesday, October the 12th at 5:30 here in this courtroom. And And our commission meeting will be Thursday, October the 21st at 5 p.m. here in the courtroom. And then the Justice Center bid openings will be October the 14th at 3 p.m. We stand adjourned.
Mr. Shipley, what's the reason we're going to Tuesday instead of Monday? I'm sure there's a good reason.
Monday is a federal holiday, Columbus Day.
All right, so these are the dates coming up. Okay, so Tuesday, September 28th at 5 p.m. right here at the courthouse. That'll be the next one. And then we have Tuesday, October the 12th. But we're going to be concentrating on this one right here, September 28th. You all have a list of commissioners. I will get you the new one on this video. Please show up. You don't have to live here to make your voices heard. The Constitution says nothing about needing to be local. It says about standing as one. This is one of our good commissioners here. How you doing, sir?
Good.
We appreciate everything that you do for the citizens. Keep it up. I appreciate you asking questions. If everybody asked questions, this America would be a lot much greater place. They know how to push a button. Yes, sir. So I appreciate everybody watching this video. This is my first live, and we will be going live again. Please hit that share button. We need to share. We need to subscribe. Get the word out there, because to vote people in that they are known to have had violations of the Constitution to the people of the United States is ridiculous. They're applauding them, they're allowing it to happen, and we need to put a stop to it, whether or not you live here or you don't. Thank you very much.